And hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly AMA. Going to try something a little bit different this week. Going to try and do this on a Saturday. Still trying to figure out the live broadcasts and how well they all work. So let's give a shot to Saturday, shall we? See if people like it. How are you doing? Let me know. Say hello here in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you're in from, and we'll spend about 45 minutes, maybe an hour this morning, answering your questions on virtually any topic. Hello, Ali. How the heck are you? And it's I see a few of you in here. That's great stuff. What do we got? We've got 1824. Oh, people coming in. Hey there, Fred, Vanessa. Hi there. How are you? So this is a continuation of the kind of the experiment of figuring out where live sits with the Dotto Tech channel, whether or not it's a popular addition to our channel or not. We've done them all on Fridays leading up to today, but today I thought we'd try Saturday. The reason I thought Saturday might work better for an AMA is our vlogs. When our vlogs have landed on the weekends and are far better viewed, far more interaction on our vlogs every weekend when we post them. So I was thinking, we do a lot of the how-to content during the week, so maybe we'll switch it up and kind of do the live and the softer stuff on the weekends and see how that is all going. Hello, John Cusick. How are you doing? Just put the World Cup on mute. You put the World Cup on mute for me. I guess their game started. The second game is starting just now. I got to admit, I haven't been following it too closely. I'm in Canada. We suck at soccer, and hockey's our game. So that's kind of the. But I will watch it. I was actually planning on watching one or two of the games this weekend. I think that at this point here it gets pretty darned exciting. Hello, Catherine from Calgary. How are you? And Daniel French from the UK. Yeah, in the UK it's hot. I haven't heard what the temperature is there, but in the Greater Toronto area where my son and my daughter live, it's 41 degrees they're going up to this weekend. It's just redonkulously warm. It's drizzly and kind of cool here in Vancouver today. Hey there, Anne from Maryland. Love my dog in the studio. I have a dog, Ken, in my live studio. Yeah, there's Farley in the back giving himself a little bit of a little grooming as he goes on. It's hot here in Windsor. Yeah, they're saying it's going to be 45. Are you serious, Alan? That's ridiculous. That's dangerously hot, isn't it? Wow. Is that as hot as you've ever experienced it? I've never experienced that anywhere in Canada that I've been. I don't think I've ever been in the mid 40s. Certainly not here in Vancouver. Certainly not here in Vancouver. And there's Kareem. They know a little bit about heat there in Cairo, Egypt. Yes, you do. So, folks, let's let me know. It's great to see where you're all from. Keep it up. Vulcan from the Netherlands. Welcome aboard. So what do you guys want to chat about today? I haven't done a live broadcast since I got back from VidCon, which was now 2 weeks ago, which was a fascinating thing. But I've done a lot of posting on it. I've talked a lot about what happened at VidCon. I'll tell you the one thing that really has kind of stuck with me now as kind of the dust is settled from VidCon is of all the announcements, the announcement that YouTube made of adding the merchandising. As I think things through, I think YouTube adding merchandising, allowing us to incorporate, ultimately to incorporate, they call them shelves of product right underneath. So imagine where this video window is right now, wherever you're watching it. And imagine where you have the pause and the playback controls. Imagine right underneath there being a shelf where we can merchandise product. So I could have like a Dotto Tech t-shirt and a Steve bobblehead and something else. That stuff right there. So not saying, hey, if you want to purchase anything, go into the description, which is what we have to do now, and we can merchandise in a variety of different ways. Now, I've never been a big merchandiser, obviously, but it's got me thinking that for a lot of YouTube creators, this is going to be just the ticket. It's going to be a pretty impressive thing. It's going to be very cool. All right. So what have we said here? Gracian, it'll be nice if the live will be the same time every week, every 1 to 2 weeks, so I can put them all on my calendar. Yes. I am trying to figure out for the next little while. It's going to be moved around. I think I'm going to try weekends for a couple of weeks. Not next. Yeah, next week I'll do Saturday again. The following week I actually have a paid webinar. We're going to be doing a webinar a course. We're going to be delivering a course, the second play of a course, which is how to make money on YouTube. So that'll be next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday. Anybody that's on our mail list, you will get notification of that. We'll be promoting it fairly heavily. So I'm going to be doing a little mini training. It's going to be a $50 course where I cover all of the different aspects of earning revenue on YouTube. I've come up with 7 models, 7 ways to earn money. So I'm pretty excited about that. There we go. Stephen Alley is leaving because of the World Cup game. I completely understand. I'll tell you guys a little story. Back in the day, 2004, I used to do a Sunday live TV show in Canada, and it was a simulcast. It was a show that we did in a small little robotics studio, and it was simulcast on radio. And it was a call-in computer show. People would call in and say, I'm having trouble with the Windows installer, and we would answer questions. And it was like a tech panel, kind of a call for help type thing that we did every Sunday. And we did it live, and it was on TV. That was what TV used to be like back in the day. This particular Sunday was probably in February or March. It was the gold medal final of the hockey game. The first time that they allowed NHL professionals to play in the Olympics in a long, long time. So Canada was playing the United States in the gold medal final, and it was the Salt Lake City Olympics. I think it was 2002 or 2004. And I was doing a live TV show at the exact same time. Like, we started when the puck dropped. And and our show was only broadcast in Canada. And Canada is absolutely hockey nuts. I'm a hockey nut. I didn't want to be doing a live TV show. And I actually started that broadcast with the theme music ended. So imagine you're watching TV and this is what came up. What are you doing here? You're on the wrong channel. The hockey game is on CBC. It's farther down on the dial. Go there now. That's how I started my broadcast. And we had a monitor off on the side that had the hockey game. And even though we were answering calls, and we were getting calls from international calls because, people would pick us up on satellite TV and all that kind of stuff. And we were so not into that show, but we had to broadcast it. It was probably the worst show of my broadcast career. But it was a very good day because Canada won the Olympic gold medal that day. So that was, and I will always remember that particular day. Hello from Montreal. George says, don't give up on Canadian soccer. You keep saying that. My son's a huge fan. He's always disappointed. Fred, doing IGTV, but what's the advantage of it over stories? Fred, that's a great question. So what Fred is asking about is IGTV. Instagram has announced this IGTV, which is a vertical format, long format TV. And he's asking what the video that's now baked into the Instagram app. I think, and I'm not a real Instagram expert, Fred, but I think the value is the length that you can do. Instagram Stories has very short little snippets of video. With IGTV, you can do long form video. I think that's probably the biggest benefit. And it's also IGTV is very, it should be polished and finished packaged video. It shouldn't be the sort of stuff that we're doing right now, this kind of live or streaming or instant quick stuff. It should be, they're trying to make it competitive to YouTube, so there's got to be kind of YouTube value of the YouTube recorded videos. You'll have to excuse me. I came back from from VidCon with a cold, and I'm still getting over it. So I might, unfortunately, be coughing occasionally as we go along. So that's the advantage. I'd love to hear what you guys think of it if you're doing it. I've published a few IGTV things. I think that there's value there, and it's something that I'm hoping to invest a little bit more time and a little more time and energy in, but I'm not positive I will. But it's looking good. Apologies, I'll watch this. You don't have to apologize if you leave this. I love how people are so polite. Must be Canadians. I'm sorry I have to leave your show. I'm really okay with that. I mean, I love it if you join and share, but I realize people have things to do in their lives. Barbell Born is saying, as a designer, I'm looking forward to the merch. I am too. It's not going to be rolled out. The merchandising in YouTube is not going to be rolled out to Canadian creators for a little while. So I'm not going to see it for a period of time. And I think there's a threshold of 100,000 subscribers that you have to have on your channel in order to get it now. But I'm excited to see how it'll work because, I mean, it's the availability. I think a lot of merchandise purchases are impulse buys. And if you've got something cool, or you tie something in, I think, with the video that you're putting in, having that merchandising shelf right there, it's going to be interesting to see how it comes together. Absolutely. Bear Wolf says, unproductivity apps. Is that a suggestion for a channel? What's an unproductivity app? Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more. That's global warming from Safety Harbor, Florida. This is global warming. Yeah, well, that's my thoughts, but a lot of people tend to disagree with me on that one. But I certainly think that the environment is changing for sure. Star Lucas. When I do a search on Gmail for a certain email or keyword, but I want to do a bulk delete, is that possible? Yes. So once you've done your search, Stuart, at the very top of your Gmail screen will be a little checkbox where you can select all. You can select all and then delete them at that point, or manage them in any way you want. But it does it. Gmail does a really good job of searching, but it doesn't do a good job of sorting email. So you can't like sort on columns the way you do in Outlook and other apps. But you do use that there's a little checkbox you see right at the very top of the Gmail button in order to do that. I hope that helps. Okay, Judy says, of course, I don't even have a Windows computer. These people are fun to mess with. So I'm not sure what happened there. Vulcan says it's 23 degrees. It is indeed. Robert from Dallas, Fort Worth. Keep up, Steve. You're doing great work. Thank you. I'm coming to Dallas. August 28th, 29th. I'm doing Video Conferencing World. I'm doing Jeremy Vest's event. I'm going to be speaking at it, and I'm looking forward to that. Richard Clarkson, do you like IGTV, Steve? Took a while to find out here how to hear the audio. Yeah, the interface is, I think you'll get used to the interface pretty quickly. I do like IGTV with one caveat. Everything that I've watched on IGTV so far, I don't like much of what I've seen. Too many content creators are using it as sort of Facebook Live sort of stuff they would do, or doing kind of quick little stream of consciousness things. And I think that that people have to find their voice on IGTV, and we have to find where the value is. Now, it's going to be difficult. It's going to take some time because, finding value with vertical video, that's always going to be a challenge, is, kind of discovering better how to present video content in a vertical format. So there's a logistical issue. But there's also going to be a sweet spot. They allow us up to an hour of video on the... or some creators, they're going to allow an hour. I think that's going to be too long. I think we're going to have to find what the sweet spot is as far as the length goes, and the sort of content that's going to resonate. Is it going to be opinion? Is it serialized news type stuff? Is it going to be entertainment? Is it going to be training? And what's the content that's going to resonate? Is it lifestyle? Is it humor? What's going to resonate into that channel? That's going to be a challenge that everybody has to kind of put together. And then the ongoing discovery engine. What is the subscription model going to look like? How is it going to be served into your feed? Are you going to see everybody who you're subscribed to? Or just, is there an algorithm going to kick in that's going to serve to you the most popular videos? Or all of those questions are still to be answered. So it's embryonic. We're just starting out with it. And what I don't like is seeing people repurposing their YouTube video, repurposing other video, and using it as a place to just dump content that we're already consuming from somewhere else. That's what I've resisted doing personally, is I'm looking and trying to figure out what value can I bring to this platform and to my community there. And is my community there a different community than is following me here on YouTube or on Facebook? Those are the big questions. Right now, it's a little bit more personal. But for me, I think I sense that there's going to be a more personal and intimate nature to IGTV, and that's part of the flavor we're going to have to capture. Vulcan says, that's Florida, USA, right? My girlfriend Courtney's from there. Okay. Judy says, I'm with you. The Whitecaps are up and coming. Good. That's good to hear. We're talking soccer again. There we go. And more talk about soccer. Fred, I'm doing IGTV, but what is the advantage over stories? I did answer that. Sorry, I scrolled back, I think. There we go. Judy, I just had a look what Super Chat is. Saw the icon below. Pay you to have your chat post highlighted. That's a whack. That is. So it doesn't. Some YouTube content creators and some friends of mine do really well with Super Chat. I think that very popular lives where people are looking to kind of competing for your attention and the chat is happening very fast. Super Chat is a great way to get the host's attention. We haven't reached the point yet, although I'd love it if everybody, in order to get my attention, had to Super Chat me. That would make Steve very happy. We're not quite at that space yet. But it is a nice option. One of the themes, Judy, that we heard over and over again at VidCon is YouTube is really working to find ways to make creators earn money. YouTube is in a battle with Facebook and now with Instagram and with Twitch to get the loyalty of the content creators. Because each of these channels is only as good as the quality of the content that creators are putting on. None of these companies, not YouTube, not Facebook, not Twitch, not Instagram, none of them create the content that we consume online. They're just the pathway to that content. So it behooves them to make content creators as happy as possible on their platform. And the way what makes you happy? I tell you what makes me happy: when I make money. Somebody puts a Super Chat in, Steve does a little happy dance. But when you make, so YouTube, I think, has a big advantage right now over all of the other competitors in that there's really good and defined monetization models online. I'm not sure Super Chat is ultimately the most elegantly implemented monetization model, but somebody tips you, gives you $5 to ask a question. YouTube creators pay notice, and some people do long lives, and they make great money from it. Some of my friends do that. So it's all part and parcel of, I think, one of YouTube's biggest advantages right now is their monetization platforms are far more mature than they are in other platforms. We're just talking about Instagram Live. I'm going to dabble with it, but I'm not going to. If I could see a way that I could make money on it tomorrow, I would be all in trying to make that work. There are ways that we make money on YouTube. That's why we're all in on YouTube. At least that's my opinion. Yes. Okay. Tom, I'm also looking for a webinar platform, something less expensive than WebEx. Good. Tom, I have a answer for you. I did a live broadcast, and it created a training a couple of months ago called Webinar Palooza. And Webinar Palooza, let me grab you a link to the course. Webinar Palooza we tested 6 webinar platforms. And each of the webinar platforms we actually put through the paces, and we did a live broadcast where you literally walked from one, it was like a pub crawl. It was like a pub crawl from one platform, from one webinar platform to another, so you could see how they all work. And at the end of that, let me find it here. Okay, sorry. At the end of that, there's a training where you can go through and you can see all of the basic benefits for each one. There it is. There's the link. Sorry, my apologies. I had to find this. Let me drop it in. So this is a free mini course that I just dropped into the chat, which will walk you through all of the different webinar platforms. Now, I see here you say, do you do one-on-one coaching help to people set up a platform? Yeah, I can, depending on what you're doing. Tom, tell me what type of webinars do you want to do? What sort of community are you going for? So here, I'm just going to give you a quick little thumbnail on what I consider. Actually, I was just preparing a new video. We're going to do a new video on it for the channel on the 4 platforms. There's 4 kind of archetypes, I think. Is there 4 archetypes? Yes, there are. 4 archetype webinar platforms that work that I can kind of plug into each aspect. So the first is GoToWebinar, the second is Zoom, the third is Webinar Jam, and the fourth is Crowdcast. If I give you kind of the condensed version of each, Zoom is one of the most pleasant webinar platforms to work. It's the best webinar platform if you're doing webinars that are interactive meetings, that are like coaching calls type things, where you have multiple guests on board. Where it's really weak is if you want to insert B-roll content, if you want to insert other video, and the fact that you have to launch an executable typically in order to use it. You have to launch another application. But it's very strong in mobile. It's got a great mobile app, and it's very robust. It's one of the most reliable platforms we know of. Zoom is a winner, chicken dinner one. GoToWebinar is old school. They've been bought by LogMeIn, which has breathed some new life into the platform as far as I'm concerned. But they're best if you're doing presentation webinars where you don't want a lot of audience interaction, because they actually kind of suppress comments, user comments and chat. One of the things that I think is most valuable in a webinar is what's happening here, is chat, is people interacting back and forth and getting the energy going from the chat. GoToWebinar almost suppresses that. They make it very difficult for people to chat, and so they want all the focus to be on the presenter in the presentation content. So if you're in a corporate environment where presentation, kind of polished presentation and classic slideshow type stuff is carries the day, then GoToWebinar is a terrific solution. If you're an online marketer and your webinar is part of a funnel and a part of a sales funnel, and you've got lots of calls to action where you want people to click on things and maybe even buy things on your webinar and maybe even sell the webinar, and you need really solid integration into a CRM such as Entreport or Infusionsoft or Drip, then I believe Webinar Jam is the best solution. Now, it suffers a little bit in quality because of the engine isn't quite as robust, but the licensing is very liberal, and you can have huge webinars that are very much revenue focused. That's the tool that I use the most. And then if you're looking to do a show, if you're looking to do a webinar that's more like almost like what we're doing with this live now, but you're looking to make it more of a show with multiple guests, and you want to take advantage of the social networking aspects of the webinars, then a tool like Crowdcast becomes a very viable option. But it really depends on what your business goals and objectives are. All webinar platforms are not created equal. Step one, or point one. Point two, they all break and they all have issues. There's no perfect webinar platform. There's no one that I can say this is the one to get no matter what you do, because each one has its strengths. So it's going to have to how those strengths dovetail with your needs. Now, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me just here in YouTube chat, or just go over into the channel comments and comment on one of my videos, and let me know if you want to, kind of engage in a little bit more of a conversation and a little bit of a consultation. Or you can send an email to info@dottotech.com. That email goes through April, but it'll get to me pretty quickly. So if that's something you're interested in, I'd be happy to help you out there if I can. All right. I love talking webinars. Webinars are one of the reason, folks, that if you just haven't followed me for a while, the reason I love webinars so much is I'm a technology guy. I mean, obviously, if you follow the channel, you know I like to teach tech. But I come from a broadcast world. I come from live radio, live television, as well as recorded television. And when I first delivered my first webinar, and I saw what I could do in a webinar that used to take me an entire studio and control truck and all of these different things in order to broadcast, because I did live TV and live radio for years and years. When I saw that, what we could do on a webinar, and then I saw the skill sets that people were teaching in the webinar space, and I said, wait a minute, I've got years of broadcast experience. I can show people how to, I can do better. So that's why I get so excited about webinars. I don't think that there's a better way. We've got a real love affair with this live platform, and for good reason. This live platform is every bit of awesome. But I have a real love affair with, but I personally have a real passion for webinars because of the control it takes. These lives are interruptional. If you happen to have time to come and watch, you do. If not, it's okay. There's not a real commitment. I've got no real way of following up with you afterwards because I don't have your email address. So it's a nice. Live video is a nice nurturing campaign, but to do real business, to get real business taken care of, I think you have to do webinars. Still, big fan of them. Big fan of them. So I apologize if I'm jumping around. If I miss your comments, you know how to fix that now by super chatting, because then I definitely will see them. So I'm going to scroll back and see what other questions we had. Okay, so Ducely says, on main channels, Super Chat is mainly used as a tip donation to thank a creator, as a thanks, or as opposed to having it raise up and get notice. That's nice. We use Patreon here on our channel a lot. We've got wonderful support coming from our community at Patreon, and it's one of the things that shocked the heck out of me as it grew, how giving and nurturing your community can end up being through Patreon. So I imagine other creators get that experience through the Super Chat. That's good to see. That's good to see. All right. David Stone said, "Hello, Steve. Encountering trouble using the Evernote web clipper in the new Gmail. Is this due to not using the Chrome web browser? It works fine when I switch back to the original Gmail." It could be. Did I hear something about using what was going on with the Evernote web clip with the new browser? You know something, David? I'm not positive about that. I can't really answer that question right now. But if you jump in and you post this question in on one of my videos, or the best place to do this, by the way, is there's two locations. One is you can ask this question in the Evernote support forum, so you just go to the Evernote community. But the other one is, this is my number one go-to place to get all questions around Gmail answered. This is gold I'm sharing with you now. This is the Google support forum that I just put in a link to. If you go there and you post questions, there's both people that work at Google, but other experts. They do such a great job of answering all the questions. So go there. It's way better than me trying to bird dog that information for you. Okay, I see here. What are my thoughts on GoToMeeting? Oh, good. Randy's asking. And James asked, can Zoom send the chat content? Can Zoom send the chat content? Okay. I want you to clarify that question, James, because I'm not sure what you're asking. Zoom has a chat client that's built in, and you can incorporate chat within Zoom. So, yes, I get that. The question about what are my thoughts on GoToMeeting? GoToMeeting is just the kind of stripped-down version of GoToWebinar. So it's used for online meetings, and I think it's good. It's not one that I use a lot. In my team, we use Zoom for all of our meetings. I love Zoom. I think Zoom is an awesome package. I don't think it's the best webinar package in the world. I use Zoom for some webinars, and I use Zoom for some trainings. It's an excellent webinar package, but I don't think it's the one that works best for me. But as far as our online meetings goes, I choose Zoom over GoToMeeting. But I will give this credit. I think that GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar, that combination of products, was getting very stodgy when they were owned by themselves. When they were owned by, was it Citrix that owned them, or is that WebEx? No, but when they got sold to LogMeIn, I'm seeing some really nice development in what they're putting forward in the new releases of their product. So I think that they are upping their game substantially. There we go. Rich, I really like your work. Thank you, Rich. And Tom, great counsel. Thank you. You are most welcome. That's what I needed to hear from Randy. Well, I am glad that is what you needed to hear. Paul, from Auckland, New Zealand, where my wife spent many years of her life, and we were talking about moving to New Zealand the other day. We're not going to, but we were talking about it. What are my thoughts on Gmail inbox? I'm a big fan of just using Gmail in the browser, using Gmail's client, just because it's. I just like the control. However, having said that, Gmail inbox, I know a lot of people are really happy with it, and with the new version of Gmail being released and kind of moving in that direction, it does a great job of sorting. I think because I have multiple email addresses all attached to my Gmail account, I like the extra control and the extra definition that I get from the normal Gmail client. But Gmail inbox is, it's great, and I often use it on the phone. I often play with it on the phone and find it to be a really solid app. The key to any of these really is not jumping back and forth, but making sure that you use it and you master everything that it does, and you make it fit in your own personal productivity system. That to me is the key to using any of these apps. Okay. Shashank is asking me, what are my thoughts about Nokia, the new Nokia? I don't have any thoughts about the new Nokia. Sorry. Don't have that. Steve, you've done great work over the years. This is from Tom Green 99. Got me into tech, and you're as a youngin watching your show. As a youngin, I hope you still are a youngin if you started out watching my show as a youngin, but I suspect you're probably not a youngin anymore. That's good to know. That's good to hear. Yeah, we've got. I mean, for those of you that are not from Canada, following, we did for 15 years. We did a TV show here in Canada, a weekly kind of how-to tech show. So a lot of people in Canada kind of grew up with me on one station or another in their living room over the years. Hello, Anna. How are you? All right. Dan says, I love Zoom as well, Steve. It is the most accessible with the screen readers. I use VoiceOver on both Mac and OS, and it works relatively well on both. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Hello, Jean-Claude. How are you, sir? Calvin, managing versus Thinkific for a complete course business environment. What are the different features? Well, I don't know the features of all of the course management tools. So Calvin is asking about LMSs or learning management systems. Thinkific is a Canadian SaaS product that allows you to create, host, sell, market, promote, grade online courses. And it's all built in to an environment. And it's got some really good competitors. It's got Teachable and Kajabi. There are a variety of other services out there that do a very similar thing. And they're all expanding what they do dramatically in order to serve a kind of a more and more, in order to serve the community better as we go along. Now, with tools like this, I kind of threw my lot in with Thinkific for a couple of reasons. Because in order to really get to know what the strengths are and to teach people how to use these tools, you've got to use them in the line of fire. You've got to use them where you've got students coming in and things breaking and things working and discovering, kind of business models that work for you. So you have to kind of go all in rather than just look at the feeds and speeds of a product like that, because it says all these features, but those features don't mean a hill of beans if you can't make them work in your business environment. So I've always felt that for these sorts of tools, you've got to choose one and use it in order to really teach it. And so I chose Thinkific. I chose it because, A, it was really good technology, but there was a real other pragmatic reason, is they're based here in Vancouver, just down the street, just over there. But I got to know the owner, the creator of it, and I met his team, and I got to know them, and they brought me in, and they listened to my advice, and they gave me advice. So I feel an affinity for the product, and I'm a bit of a fan. I'm kind of a champion for the product because I know the people really well. I think the other products do an exceptional job. I've got lots of friends, people that I care deeply about, that use other tools, and they're very happy with them. And from what I see, they work exceptionally well. I can only speak to what Thinkific does because it's I can't give what would be legitimate. I can't say legitimately it's better than another program. What I can say with all of these apps is when you make a decision, at the point that you've made a decision, it's up to you to make it the right decision by how you choose to use that product and how you choose to learn it and invest in it. And so Thinkific for us has become a core feature in the Dotto Tech business. All of our mini courses, all of our courses are sent and delivered through Thinkific, and it's been an essential tool in the growth of our business. And I appreciate it. And it's worked flawlessly as far as that's concerned. They keep adding new features. I don't think that if you do your research and you choose Thinkific, Kajabi, Teachable, if you choose one based on the feature set that you see and your own needs, I don't think you can end up making a wrong decision. If you really take the time, invest, learn how to use it, and really apply yourself to the application. And don't just keep looking at what other features other tools have, but instead concentrate on how you can make this tool work for you. I hope that makes sense. But if you do want Thinkific, let me give you my affiliate link because I have an affiliate for it, and I make a little bit of money when people use it. And after all, right now, I'm all about the making money. Let me find. It's if I'm going to do these lives, I've got to make sure that I find a way to make them profitable. And so forgive me for occasionally becoming all, use my affiliate link. But if I am going to give you some value and it helps you make a decision and you choose to buy it, then please use my affiliate link. Absolutely. Well, there is a complete non sequitur, David Stone. Thoughts on proposed NHL expansion to Seattle. My thoughts about the NHL right now are I can't believe Gary Bettman is going into the NHL Hall of Fame. Not a fan of the count. One more U.S. franchise in a sunny state. 2 U.S. franchises. We take it out of Winnipeg and Quebec. And okay, anyways, I'm not a big fan of Gary Bettman. But if Seattle gets an NHL franchise, the competition between Vancouver and Seattle will be spectacular. I would love to see an NHL franchise go into Seattle. I just hope they don't do what Las Vegas did this year and make it all the way to the Stanley Cup final in the first time that they have hockey in the city, which is, I just thought it just offended me on every core. No offense to Las Vegas Knights fans. I appreciate that it was a passionate time for you, and I know what it's like doing a run to a Stanley Cup final and how it fires you up. But you should have to go to kindergarten before you get to university, and I think there should be a growth path before it happens. They went right to the Stanley Cup final in their very first year, so that was and it'll never be as good again. It can never be as good again unless you win it all. Okay, Dan says, Zoom has a few accessibility issues, but they're very minor. For instance, the chat panel, the Mac side, the live chat doesn't work too well. I haven't had that experience. Interesting. I've always felt the chat worked fine. And we have Pradeep hello from Mumbai. How do you manage your storage data? Any app or software to manage your storage data? I just manage it. I mean, we have a local RAID backup of all of our videos and stuff like that. And for all of our online stuff, we use Dropbox and Google Drive in a variety of different ways. And I do use a backup service, an online backup service, but just pretty much the same way everybody else does at that point there. Oh, Richard Loca. Hello from Rochester, New York. What do I think about Google Keep? I released a video on Google Keep a couple of weeks ago. It is a pleasant surprise. I am an Evernote guy. I always have been an Evernote guy. We sell courses on Evernote. I'm a big fan of Evernote. But when I used Google Keep for the first time, I was really, really impressed with how nicely it integrated. Now, I don't think Google Keep replaces Evernote, not for long-term storage and kind of the archiving of all of my knowledge, but as a quick note-taking app that integrates brilliantly with the rest of the Google suite of tools, I am more than impressed with Google Keep, and it's become something that I'm using on a daily basis. It's part of my productivity toolkit now. I didn't think it would be, but it is. And if you want, jump over to afterward this. Please watch the YouTube video on it. I think I explain it really well in the YouTube video. So thank you for that, Richard. Peggy, how are you doing? You always give value here, and there's no problem promoting your product. Thank you. Thank you so much. What is my dog's name? That's Farley. Farley is a Labradoodle who has been a very expensive Labradoodle. In the last year he's had knee surgery, and he ate a rag, and he had surgery on that. So Shannon and I got married this year, and bracketed around our wedding was 2 surgeries for Farley. They're documented in my vlog if you want to know more. But basically, Farley is my honeymoon, because the cost of the knee surgery and then the stomach surgery when he adjusted the rag basically covered off anything that Shannon and I could have spent in order to go on a honeymoon. He cost exactly half what our wedding cost. But he's my dog. He's kind of with me all day long here. So Dan says, VoiceOver doesn't read a name of senders who have sent chats. Oh, so Dan is talking about the screen reading issues. I'm curious if that's displayed on screen. Yeah, Bettman going into the Hall of Fame. I don't get that either. Okay, so I'm not too sure about how screen readers work exactly, so I'm not sure. Now, when we do look at the chat in Zoom, we do see the name of the person chatting, but that could well be in a different pane. So the screen reader might be having trouble getting to that. Calvin, great answer on Thinkific. I appreciate it, and we'll use your affiliate link if we go that way. Thank you, sir. And now here's the one thing I'll say about Calvin, about Thinkific, which I do like, is a lot of people are looking to develop courses to sell, but they're kind of worried about the investment of paying $100 a month for a membership for a learning management system. Thinkific has a model where you can build your course for free, you can host it for free, and you have most access to most of their features, and you can sell it for free. They take a cut of what you sell it for. They take a small percentage of that, and that's how they make their money until you grow to the point where that cut is $99 is the basic package that I use at Thinkific. And until you reach that point there, then you can kind of switch over and start paying. So it doesn't actually cost you out of pocket. They kind of revenue share with you as you grow as a new creator. And you can also use it for free courses a lot. So I'd use it as a list builder. I create courses to get people into the community, get people on my newsletter. And we do a lot of free courses here at Dotto Tech, and they're all hosted in Thinkific, and it doesn't cost me anything to do that. So that's a good thing. Is there one page on my site that has all my affiliate links so I can easily support you? Rich, I don't have like a list of affiliate links, but if you go to our website and you download Steve's Toolkit, that talks about all the tools that I use. I don't have an inordinate number of affiliate links. I have a rule as far as affiliate links goes. It has to be a product that I'm paying for myself or willing to pay for myself and that I really use. So I don't have a huge number of affiliate links, but all of the things that I do have affiliate links for are in that toolkit. So that's the easiest way. Or if you're buying Amazon, if you click on my toolkit link, Amazon we have a little bit more latitude, of course, with, and so it's there as well. Of course, make a little bit less off Amazon, but I like it. But I thank you for the support. I appreciate it big time. Thumbs up there. Anna, Google Keep is super. Use it since Steve showed me. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, we're getting total. David's agreeing with me about both Bettman and the Knights. There we go. A real hockey fan there. And Calvin says, as an Oilers fan, we've been in kindergarten for a long time. Yeah, but you guys have Stanley Cups, and you guys have all those first-round draft choices that are awesome to watch. But yeah, it's what you've done with them, I cannot understand. Edmonton, I just don't understand. You guys, it must be super frustrating to be an Oilers fan. I have to admit, it's just I have some sympathy for you. But thank goodness you didn't win a whole bunch more Stanley Cups, because it would have been even more depressing here in Vancouver had you done that. Judy, I too have accessibility needs. I have to say that Thinkific was originally hard to see, but they responded to my critique directly and quickly and made changes. That's meaningful. Judy, that is a wonderful testimonial. I am so glad to hear that, because I know that Thinkific responds when I call them, but I'm what they call an influencer, right? But for them to have responded right away to you as a customer and positively like that, especially dealing with an accessibility issue, that's good for them. I'm glad to hear that. Made me happy. Thank you for sharing that. NHL teams need history. Do you agree? I agree. I do. That Peggy saying that's good to know, Judy. Yeah, that is a great comment. So, David, thanks, Steve. These videos are helpful. Good. So what do you guys think? Saturday? How many people do we have on? We have 54. So, you know what? We've got about half of the number that we got on Fridays. Now, I don't know. It's interesting here. We'll talk a little bit of YouTube business. It's interesting how my community is growing on YouTube, because I've stated a goal, and it seems to be a very lofty goal, and right now it seems very far in my grasp, to grow the Dotto Tech channel to 1 million subscribers. I want to do that for my ego and because I want that to be gold. And for other things, just to see if we can do it. And it's fun. It's fun to compete. But every time I post a video on a Google product, my number of subscribers grows and grows and grows and grows. When I do my vlogs and when I do my lives, the number of subscribers of people watching these, the number of subscribers actually shrinks. People unsubscribe when I do these things. And now I get that. I get to a certain extent that people are looking for, that they're just, they might have subscribed for different reasons and they don't want the extra personality pieces that we're doing in the vlog and all of that sort of stuff. I understand that. And I sense, I kind of intuit, and this is not based on any science, that it's like a chef reducing the sauce, that the community becomes more vital and more vibrant because only people that are really interested are now participating, and so it becomes a more engaged community. And that's a good thing. But overall, you also look at it, you go, wait a minute, I did a live, I had a couple hundred people liked the questions, yet 17 people unsubscribed over 2 weeks on it, as opposed to I did this video on Google Keep, and over the same 2 weeks, 300 people subscribed to the channel. So it's a curiosity. I'm still kind of working it out, still trying to figure out what works on the channel and what's going to help us and propel us to the growth. I'm not unhappy with any aspect of what's happening on the Dotto Tech channel, other than it's not growing as fast as I'd like subscriber-wise. Revenue-wise, we're experiencing lots of growth. Video view-wise, we're experiencing lots of growth. So we're getting growth in all of the areas that really count. But the vanity statistic, the subscribers, that isn't growing fast enough for Steve right now. So I'm still trying to figure it all out. So that's kind of part and parcel of this, moving it on different days and trying different things out. Holy jumping! All of a sudden people are giving me money. Thank you so much. Calvin, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that big time. That's the way it's supposed to work. See? Well, I said I'd do a happy dance. There, I did the happy dance for you. There we go. Good stuff. Hello from Sofia, Bulgaria. Steve, how are you? So here, there's a whole bunch of comments as I did that little rant. Let me just go back. Dan, totally not a fan of Evernote. I've contacted them for some time with issues. Yeah, they're not really responsive, Dan. You're not going to get a lot of response from Evernote. You won't get it from Google either, though, to be perfectly honest with you. Small companies like Thinkific, companies that are boutique companies that are really nurturing their community, those you'll get feedback from. Dan, a Leafs fan here, and we are totally due for a cup. You are totally due for a cup, but you're moving in the right direction. You guys have a really good team now, and you have the bones of a really good team. If you can just figure out that defense and make sure you get in 2 or 3 solid years of goaltending in a row from somebody, I think the Leafs are good. You might be there in the next few years. You're a good-looking team. Lots of Canadians on. Canada Day coming up. You were saying I'm not an influencer just because I'm a boomer. No, Judy, I didn't say you weren't an influencer. I'm busted. I realize it probably kind of came out that way. I apologize. You are an influencer with me. Obviously, you made me blush. That shows influence. There we go. Donald, Detroit, Michigan would like to become more involved in shooting video and editing. Medium range costs and equipment needed. Since day one, I've watched my vids. That's good to hear, Donald. You know something? Right now, my video rig is this. I'm about to record my vlog for this week that we'll be posting tomorrow. And I'm just using this, which is really just an iPhone 6 in a case. And it's doing okay. So I don't think you have to spend a lot on it. I want to spend more. I want to buy the better video gear. And I'm excited about that growth path. But you can get started pretty reasonably priced, I think. So Judy says, some of these tech SaaS companies have been started by young folk without thinking of accessibility. It's just a consciousness-raising issue. Usually they respond when asked. That's a great point. And that's a good mission to be on. That's well done. Well said. Steve, you're welcome. Where's my cut? It's in the mail, Judy. Yeah. Remember mail? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Do I listen to any podcast? Duck T. Good question. You know something? I'm not going to tell you right now because I'm going to get you to tune in tomorrow to my vlog, because my vlog tomorrow is called Lifelong Learning. And it's talking about where we learn and how we develop skills, especially as we get a little bit older. And I'm going to talk about the importance of podcasts in my transition from broadcast TV to the online space. And I was going to share a list in that podcast, in that video, of my favorite podcasts. So I am going to do a teaser here and say, you're going to have to watch my video tomorrow, because that's where I'm going to have a list of my podcasts. And I'm going to be inviting my community to share which podcasts they like. So I'd love to hear what you use, what you have, but you're going to have to watch my video tomorrow to get it from me. Does that seem fair? Good. Randy, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. Go Bolts. Indeed, go Bolts. They are a good team. They are a really, really good team. And it looks like they might get better. They're in the... they are. Yeah, they're a fine team. Yeah, good team. And they've won a Stanley Cup. Happy Canada Day, Dan. Yes, indeed. I'm in Ontario here, not far from Toronto, where it's sweltering. We were talking about that off the top of today's broadcast, like going up to 45 in that area. It's just ridiculous. Chris, happy Canada Day as well. All information is good. Free editor for YouTube and fast rendering. Thank you. Good stuff. On good free editor. Okay. I don't know. Didn't know that I did something for a free editor on YouTube, but I don't know of one. Depends if you're on your Mac, I guess. iMovie is, for sure. Anna from Belgium, living in Spain. Saturday for me is good timing. I missed several Wednesday shows. Got it. Okay, good to hear. Snail mail, yes, a.k.a. snail mail. Peggy, woohoo, looking forward to the next vlog on lifelong learning. Yes, indeed, you are, Peggy, and I am as well. And with that, you know what? We've done 50 minutes. I like to keep these kind of short and sweet. I got more work to do today. I'm just kind of tired from my morning workout. I'm ready for a nap. I'm not going to have a nap. I'm going to go record some stuff and do some cooking. My wife is over on the island celebrating her parents' 50th birthday anniversary. And then tomorrow we've got a big Canada Day barbecue in our new townhouse complex. So I'm looking forward to meeting all my neighbors tomorrow. It is going to be great. So to all of you Canadians and expat Canadians that are online, happy Canada Day to each and every one of you. To my American friends, happy 4th of July. Stay safe and enjoy your family and friends and all things that are good. And think about the good things in our life for this 4th of July. We can make things better, can't we? I think we can. Till next time, I'm going to sign off. Next week, we will do Saturday again, okay? Share this with your friends. Let people know about it. Thanks so much for spending the time with me today. Till next time, have fun storming a castle.